Hello friends, you're with the Lonesome Gamer and I'm playing Europa Universalis. Now we're coming slowly to the end of the first age and we have the battle between France and England, and the French. So their calculation, which was really tricky, was, or their big hope was, to capture the three cities from the French, from the English, and then to still have enough resources to get back this this revolting city here. But the problem now is that we've seen now here the Peasants' War coming up, and if you have a negative stability, all three exhausted units, you get unrest, you lose stability, you get trouble. So I think what I will do is I'm not gonna follow this plan anymore. Instead, I'm gonna try to raise these troops, and I'm gonna simply let this city stay a rebel city, and I'm gonna deal with it next turn. So right now, my goal is to spend 2 cubes, or my approach is to spend 2 cubes. That's a minor refresh action that I'm doing. 2 cubes per 3 units. So these 2 go now here, and this one stays here. And now I'm going to recruit. And that's another action. And that leaves me then with 2 cubes. 1 cube for here, another cube for here. And that one I'm going to leave where it is. So I'm going to recruit now. Now I got to go to depth. First of all, I want to recruit, I guess, 2 units here for my big army. So I end up with, that costs me $4. And then I want to place my 3rd army, and I'm going to recruit 4 units there. So that would cost me another $8. That means I got to take 2 loans. 1 loan is $5. So that means I get $2 back. That's not great, but okay. That allows me to hire these. They go in my 3rd army over here. I only have 3. And this army then goes on the board here in Aquitaine. Okay. And I hope this is enough to destroy the English forces, and I hope I don't take that many casualties here. Now I wonder, I could actually hire a mercenary. You know what, maybe that's, if I instead hire a mercenary, you know, then, now I think the English army, if you call it that, these 2 guys, they will go probably against these troops here. And there's a chance they could destroy 2 of them. Okay, and if you have 3+ exhausted, you're in trouble. So that means if I pay 2 more bucks, I can hire a mercenary instead, and I could exhaust this guy or kill this guy, and then if I take 2 units, if I lose 2 units, And, well, I hope that gives me a little bit of room to play around with if things go badly. Okay, so let's see. That was basically the action of the French. Now it's the Spaniards, and they won't do anything because I played them twice in a row. If I remember that right, they're not allowed to do anything. I kind of messed up last time. I basically played the British, and because I had to make some decisions then about where to remove casualties from the French, I thought it was the French turn and I went to the Spaniards. But yeah, that was wrong. So now it's the British, and they will defend themselves with their last cube, and let's see what they do. So we're going to roll a die again here. We rolled a 2, again the army, and it's just as we imagined. The army will actually attack this army over here. And oh, it should be an army, it should not be. So there we go. Actually, I'm not even sure if this is possible. But there is a naval connection, so I think it is. I think they can do it. Because they are connected to, yeah, I think they can do it. So we're going to see now, again, a battle here. And let's hope this is not too bad. So they attack with 5 dice. Okay, they do 2 hits. And this is the thing. Now, luckily, I can remove a mercenary here. But I got to wipe these guys out. And I'm not sure if I can do that. Things could go actually really wrong here. I need to do the 2 hits. And if I don't, I'm in trouble. And I do. Wow, that was close, but I did it. I destroyed the army. Now, they still come back with 1 unit. That's crazy, but it's reduced to half. They still have a unit. And I gotta reduce this mercenary, and I gotta spend, and 1 guy goes away. Shit. But okay, I mean, if I don't lose another unit, I'm okay. But if he... It's tricky. It really depends on what we roll here. So things could go wrong. They could still go wrong. So let's see. Now it is the Austrians. So the Austrians, they have still a ton of cubes left, but they have spent more than they have left. And I think that means, because they're not at war, they will trigger an event. So if the peasants' war now show up, that's a problem for the Spaniards, because they have not increased their stability yet. And they wanted to do this, but because I messed around with them and now had to skip them, I couldn't do this. So it's a bit, they have a little bit of a disadvantage there. So let's hope that this is not happening. So now let's go to the event and let's see which one they will take. So they're going to roll a die. And that is a 3. Oh no, man, that's horrible. It's not horrible, but it sucks. Pick the rightmost revealed event. Okay, so this is the Peasants' War. Oops. That is super unlucky because, yeah, that was the only number that, that caused problems for the Spanish. That was stupid. And it was very unlucky because if I had not messed up this order, I think the the event came into play either by the Turks. I think it might have actually come into play by the Turks. Then the Spanish would have had time to react on it. But yeah, I can't help it now. I think I'm not going to go back or anything, because otherwise I would have had to undo the whole exploration thing, and I don't want to do that. So therefore, we got to accept things as they are, and it sucks for the Spanish. So it means that the Austrian player, they will get a cube. All players who have negative stability or 3+ exhausted must, and that is something that only applies to the Spanish. Yeah, they are the only ones in negative stability, and yeah, the French are fine now. So they got to decrease their stability again. Gain 1 unrest for every... Okay, so that's not so bad. For every 2 exhausted manpower. Then... Okay, that's not so bad. They place a rebel for each added unrest. So because there's no exhausted manpower, it's actually not a big issue. They just lost a stability, which is obviously not great. Okay, and that's it. All players must immediately roll rebel dice for affected areas. So that's also not a problem. And now we go to these lowest things, and I think we have here the left one is attrition. So let's see what that does. So the players at war, they have to they have to remove 1 land unit for every 4 units that they have deployed. So that means the French have to remove 2 units. I'm going to remove these 2 infantry here. Anybody else is affected by that? The English have no army deployed at the moment, and I think nobody else is at war. So no, there is no effect then. Then we come to the pirate again, and here the Austrians can make a choice. So let's see what they are actually doing here, where they're going to place the pirate. Okay, so the bot will use the auto-resolution rules. Place the pirate ship into the trade node with the most merchants for tiebreaker, expanded node, second tiebreaker, random. Okay, so we've got 2 here. I think that's it actually. Yeah. So the pirates will go to Genoa. There we go. And then we have illness to the plus signs, and that means that this guy dies, Simon. We have an illness here, that's not good. And an illness will be here, Martin Luther, and that's it, I guess. So 1 advisor dies. We check the last card here, the fate of the Crimean Khanate. So we could accept the Crimean servitude. The Ottomans may pay 1 admin and 2 diplomacy and 1 battle cube, 1 military cube, to gain a vassalize on all Crimean provinces and a claim in Crimea. If the Ottomans do not pay, you may do so instead if you have a province or a cube in Crimea or an area adjacent to it. kind of interesting. The Poles are definitely interested in this and kind of involved, but they already took their event, and so did the Turks. Or refused to help, you gain 1 diplomacy. The Ottomans lose all cubes in Crimea, but gain 2 cubes in adjacent areas. So that would not be terrible for the Ottomans, because they don't have anything there, and it would give someone a diplomacy. So basically, it's only the Spaniards and the English who did not take their events yet. So maybe the Spaniards will want the diplomacy here. That could be interesting for them with their exploration actions. Okay. And that was, I think, the bot's turn. Poles still have their marching on goal, which wants them to move into to capture 2 provinces in an area that was not adjacent to their realm at the start of the game. And yeah, I can see Circassia here. So that is interesting for us. And I'm going to have to recruit an army. So yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm thinking about recruiting a completely new army, for example here or something, and leaving this here to deal with possible unrest. But then again, I think I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to simply take this army and move it down there. So that means I think I want to simply recruit, I don't know, we got to fight 2. Maybe it shouldn't be so hard to do it. I think I'm going to go with 2 additional infantry. That should be fine. So we're going to spend $4. Let's see how many rebels we can. It's 3 rebels might show up here from the Tatar raids. Maybe. I'm going to hire 1 more. Okay, I hope that's enough. And yeah, that's my action. And then it's the Turks again. So what is their plan? They want to move in here. That's what I was thinking about. I don't have that much cubes left, so yeah, I gotta do this now. I'm gonna declare war on these guys. Let's see what that is. I'm just curious here. So that is actually Wallachia. I'm gonna declare war on Wallachia, and that forces me to place a token there, I guess. And then we can simply move in, because no battle or anything has been triggered. So that gives me now the option to move my army. We're going to do that, and that now triggers a battle. Wallachia has 2 units. Let's pick them. I guess it's not going to be a tough fight. And then I'm not going to take my general or anything. I'm simply going to roll with my 3 dice and I hope that I'm going to be okay here. Okay, this is enough to destroy them. Let's see how they are doing. Oh, they do 2 damage, so that kind of sucks, but okay. But that means I wipe them out, and that also means that I get back my cube. And I need that cube because I have to siege these 2 cities. So it's the French. The French will spend a cube to do the siege against these 2 areas here in Normandy or Brittany, I think, I'm not sure. And because I got cannons here, or 1 cannon, that thing has a siege power of 2, and I only have to spend 1 cube to besiege both cities. So therefore, from here, I can take now these 2 cities and mark them as occupied. Okay, so that's something. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And now the Spaniards. The Spaniards do another explore action. They're going to spend 1 from the naval traditions. That means the action only costs a single diplomatic cube, and another 1 here. I don't want to spend too many diplomatic cubes to reroll. I'm going to explore here. It's my goal to kind of build the Spanish main, but to do that I need a 2, and that's not so easy to get. It's basically a 5 or 6. Fuck it. Again, it's a 1. I'm going to spend 1 cube to reroll that. God damn, I can reroll twice as a maximum. So do I want to give it another go? I don't know, man. I'm really not lucky with these. I didn't manage to roll a 2 now with 6 rolls. This is really poor. You know, I'm going to go with 1 last roll. And I was hoping to do a little more exploration, but it's really not looking good. So let's do it anyway. I got my 2. Finally. God damn. So that means I can place a claim now in one of these areas. I think I'm going to place a claim here in Florida. And yeah, that's pretty good. So it's going on over there slowly, and it's super expensive. I'm really burning through these diplomatic cubes. I don't know, I had kind of like 8 or 9, and now I got 2. Wow. But still, and I even had it cheaper, right? So colonizing is tough. I mean, I did basically nothing in the European map this turn. I was completely focusing on this. And I don't even have a colony, I just have a couple of claims over there. Now it's the English, and they don't have any cubes left, so they're going to go for an event, I guess. So let's see what we get. Oh no, it's still okay. So, yeah, so we got to roll a die and see what happens. That's a 5. So is the own event revealed? No, the answer is not. Is he at war with an opponent whose event is revealed? Nope. So that means he's going to pick the leftmost event, and that gives him another cube. And that means we got to actually do another fucking fight. So he gains another cube because there is a ton of money on this event here. It's the religious zeal. So let's see what happens here. This is not an opponent's event. He will resolve option A, but he has very limited options here. He established Inquisition, so he cannot pay the 3 cubes to research the Inquisition. The rules say, and I checked that, he will do all of A if he has the power to do so. So I guess he will do as much possible. And then optionally another 1 to change the religion in one of your areas with diverse faiths to your state religion. Now, my English isn't great, but I guess he cannot do the second one, the second option here, if he didn't do the first one. Because he cannot he cannot research the Inquisition, and so therefore I think you either do the first and then the second, or you don't do anything of the two. So that has basically no effect. It just gave him the cube, and that's it. I mean, okay, it makes sense, you know, you might grab an event because of the money. Now we got the native uprising here as a secondary effect, and that is a little weird. Now, if I remember that right, I can choose if we see unrest showing up in one of the distant areas, or if I will lose a cube. And I can choose which one, and I can even choose one if it has no effect. So if the Spanish had to choose here, that means they're gonna obviously take the unrest. Now I'm not absolutely sure if maybe not the bot player could choose here. Let's find out about that. Wrong here. Actually, the player who picks the card, he can choose to ignore one of the effects. So maybe the Spanish would have done that in this situation, and I messed up again a little bit. It would have given them a lot of money. Yeah, they should have really taken that. That was a bad mistake. I wanted this card. I wanted this card, but I made a mistake here because I was kind of out of the game, you know. But that would have been a very good card for the Spanish. Yeah, okay, fucked up. Again, made a couple of bad mistakes that all went wrong for the Spanish. So that means now the Spanish have to pay one of these cubes, and that's all not looking great anymore. I mean, it's still good, but that was painful for them. That was a bad hit, and it basically could have all been avoided if I would have paid a little more attention. But okay, too late for that now. And now these two guys will activate the Persians, and this is the Mamelukes. So maybe the Turks will get some trouble here. Here's the thing. I wonder if the Mamelukes actually expand any further at all. You know, I'm pretty much out of markers here. And I wonder if these are actually unlimited or not. So this is something I have to check. Otherwise, they would probably go here. And I think these guys, I don't know, they might simply go here somewhere or here. No, I think this is already taken by them. So they would go here into one of these areas. Yeah, they might, I don't know, I'm not even sure if I have any of these left. I might. Yeah, so, okay, I can place this here, but I'm actually not sure if the Mamelukes are allowed to expand any further. Gotta check that. This is tricky. I think if I follow strictly the rules, I assume the Mamelukes will not expand any further. I'm not going to do that. I think it's cool that they do, and in this case I will ignore this token limitation, and I simply continue placing tokens here. Yeah. So there we go. This card goes away. And that would have been great for the Spaniards. They could have found the Inquisition. They might have had the cube. I think they actually did have the cubes. Yeah, they could have done that. That was a stupid action of me. I really should have done that with the Spanish. But okay. So this was England, I think. So this goes on. and now it's Austria. Because the Austrians gained a cube due to the event card, they now have an equal number of cubes spent as they didn't spend. So that means they're going to continue drawing a card. And oh, that's the event. Whoa, what does that mean? I think it simply means you draw another card. I'm not sure though. Event action. Discard the event bot card. Yeah, so you start simply over. So there we go, draw another card. And that's a military action. So that's interesting. That might actually bring them into war. They still have a lot of cubes left. So why not? So they spent 2 cubes. And let's see what that exactly means. They might attack possibly a couple of additional provinces in Lombardy. Let's find out. So this is military. There we go. He's not at war. Has he claims? Yeah, he's got a claim in Lombardy. Well, I guess we simply roll a die. If we roll, it's a little odd. Okay, he rolls a 1, which actually matches a non-colonial claim. This is Lombardy, so it's a little crazy here. Select a realm from which this claim is valid. Prefer the highest tax income. Well, I guess that's Genova then. They could, this is interesting, they could attack Venice. I didn't realize that, but this belongs to Venice. Ha! They could attack Brescia. And that, I mean, that would be war with Venice. So I'm not quite sure. It's interesting. I don't think they're going to do that because they don't have a claim over these territories, only over these. And therefore, if they can gain Genova, I think that's more reasonable for them. That's 2. Genova also has here and here, which is funny. I assume they move against Genova. That means they immediately declare war because they have a large army. Let's grab the war token here. I'm going to place it here in Genova. And that means we probably have immediately... There's no allies that we have. Okay. Oh, it goes down here. No defense call to arms. Okay. No naval battles. I guess no naval battles. Yes, but we have a land battle. So there we go. We go to the land battle. And Genova has basically simply 2 armies here. I wonder if they get an army from Corsica. I gotta check that. Now, here's a thing I don't completely understand. It says we got this dashed border here. I believe that simply means that these 2 islands belong together as a single area, but it does not affect adjacency in any way. So I assume Corsica is actually adjacent to Genova, and that means they will give 8. So that means there are 3, they have 3 units. So we got to roll 3 dice. And we take 0 hits. Okay. Yeah, so that's it. And that means that they are no longer at war because... No, actually they are. I think they are at war. Yeah, they are at war. No, only if they took all their cities, they would not be at war anymore. So I think this is actually then the action of the bot player. They defeated the Genovese army, and then it's the Poles again, and they will spend a cube. Oh, and they get a cube because they did a successful land battle, the bots. Now the Poles will spend a cube and declare war against these guys down here. Let's see what area that is. So that is Imereti. Okay. So we declare war on these guys, and I think this is actually the first war that the Poles fight. And they can't do it because they don't have a claim there. So I first have to fabricate a claim. And that might not be that easy. So that whole, man, god damn, that's tricky. I'm not even sure if I can do all this. Maybe then I would not have recruited this army. I gotta figure out, I'm not sure if I can fabricate a claim adjacent to an ally. I don't think so. And also not adjacent to a vassal. That's all not so easy. Okay, so that was pretty stupid because I cannot claim anything with this. The thing is, I need basically a claim in a country which was not adjacent at the start of the adjacent to my realm at the start of the game. This is the goal that I have, right? With this marching on thing. And this is still where I want to go. The way to get there would be, I could try to subjugate Moldavia, and then that would be adjacent by sea. So this is an option. So I think what I want to do is I want to play around with my cubes. I'm pretty sure that I will not be able to do this, but still, I could also, god damn, I could also, I could, I don't know. I'm not sure what I want to do. I can subjugate Moldavia this turn. I'm pretty sure about that. And I think this is something I want to do. I got my cubes there. I can get a card. There's a card here. I'm not too happy about all that, but let's do it. So I'm going to move this stuff over here. I mean, I also... No, I can't. Yeah, so let's do that. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna discard these two cards. So one goes here, and I'm gonna pay a cube and 2 ducats to get the subjugate card. So it comes back out of the deck. And that is my action. It's not going to be enough to do what I wanted to do, but it's a start. And it's not a bad thing to vassalize a couple of provinces simply because I'm getting out of vassalize markers. So the Turks, they have... Yeah, they got 2 cubes left. They're going to spend these. No, wait a second. Yeah, they have no cannons. Yeah, so they got to spend 2 cubes. and that allows them to siege these two areas. So we got to place an occupied markers underneath, and then we control these two areas here. Now the French, they're gonna, yeah, I think they spent their last military cube to siege Bordeaux. Okay. And yeah, that's the French. We come to the Spaniards. So what do they want to do? I was thinking about colonizing, but the thing is, my colonists get generated per claims that I have there. So if I wonder if I have to remove the claim if I build a colony there. Because if that's the case, I would get less colonists. So maybe I should hold back, but I gotta check that. That's actually true. The colony would replace the claim. So I'm not gonna do it. I don't see a big advantage. I mean, yeah, I would get a couple of additional bucks and manpower, but I prefer to get more colonists, or one more colonist. So I can make a better colonization action than next turn. So I'm not going to do that. And I've just read something. Some viewer pointed out that a royal marriage counts as influence if you want to vassalize or annex enemies, if you want to subjugate an enemy. And I didn't realize that, because the subjugate card says that you have to remove influence cubes, a certain number of influence cubes. And because you cannot remove the royal marriage, I thought, okay, that doesn't work. But it seems it does. And that's a big deal for the Spanish, because that allows them actually to maybe annex Naples without trying to remove influence from France. So they might actually go in this direction, and I think I simply will do this. I'll do it right away. I'm going to spend a royal, I'm going to place a cube, and that makes these royal marriages actually stronger, I think. And I'm going to marry, I'm gonna take a marriage with Naples. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if this is possible. It might be that at the end of an age, marriages are removed. I have to check that, but I got something there. I think I might have heard of that. Marriages also give you points at the end of an age. And yeah, it's true, they have to remove one or pay 2 diplomacy to avoid that. So I wonder if I want to keep this. I might as well do it. It doesn't hurt, because I have to remove one anyway. And so I'm gonna play the royal marriage card, and I think I already paid my cube for that. And that allows me now to to place a marriage on one of your vassals. Yeah, I can easily do this. So we marry into Naples. We haven't. Oh fuck! We don't have influence there. Can't do it. God damn. Do I want to? Okay. So let's place an let's place an influence first. I don't know, man. This is all. No, I'm not gonna do it. I'm going to keep this thing, I'm going to do my influence next turn, then play the marriage, and then we'll see what happens. But yeah, I don't want to do this. Because this way I have to do more influence actions, because I need, overall I need definitely 3 influence in there, plus the marriage. So all these things, I got to do this next turn anyway. Okay, so I'm going to get back my influence cube, and instead I will spend 3 admin to increase my stability. So that was the Spanish turn, and we go back to the English. Again, they will try to defend. This goes here, and then they're going to go, I guess, this last piece of manpower goes down there. And then I guess we have to roll again on the defense table. Yeah. That's a 1 again. Shit, that's really bad. I rolled 3 times that. That's bad luck for the French. But actually, I think it's not that bad. Because, yeah, the Peasants' War already happened. So even if now more units become exhausted, it's not that bad. But it could be a problem. So, so they actually go again back in here, and man, so we have another battle here, and they roll again their 5 dice. Okay, they wipe out the French army. No, they don't. They only have a single, so they do only 1 damage. So the French need this hit. They need 1 hit. And they do have 1. So that means now, I wonder, I think they actually never lose their whole army, because they always have 1 last guy in there. So the French take 1 damage, but that's it. These guys are out of cubes now. It's over for them. So the English are done. Except some crazy event happens, but I don't think so. The English are out of this round, and that means that they've lost the war. And the French finally managed to kick them out of the continent here. So the Austrian bot, they have sieged. They had war. Yeah, they have sieged Genoa, so that means they managed to occupy this town now. And the Poles. So I have my subjugate, and I will do this. I'm going to play a cube here, and I got enough. Let me check that. Seems too easy, man. Discard influence from the target's NPR vassal equal to the target's base. Yeah, that works out. So that means I can annex the vassal now. So I'm going to remove these 2 cubes, and that allows me then to annex these 2 guys here. I guess that's Moldavia. I wonder if that remains an unrest. I think so, but I gotta check it. I couldn't find that in the rules. I think that remains an unrest. I don't know. It doesn't say anything about it. At least not that I could find it. But I don't know. I think it makes sense. So that means these 2 markers go back in here. And that's then the Poles' turn, and we go back to the Turks. Is there anything they can do? Well, I don't think so. They have 1 card left. one power left, but I don't think they can do anything. So what they will do is they will hire 2 advisors. This isn't great. These are no good advisors, but they want these points. The bad thing is they have to take, to hire them both, they have to take a loan, but they will do it because advisors are important and they are not in a good shape when it comes to cubes. So that means they get Hussein as a military advisor and John as an administrator. What? I think I don't have to take that loan. I think what I can do is I can pass, and that gives me $5, and I think I can still do, I can still do a minor action after that using that money. I'm not totally positive, but I think so. That means I had enough cash. I had $1 left. That means I would have now $4. Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I think that works out. I might check that later, but I'm pretty sure that is allowed actually. I think I can still do a minor action after I passed and therefore after I took the money. It's the French. What do they want to do? They still have a couple of cubes left, but there is not a lot they can do with these cubes. They could trade and maybe pay back a loan if they're lucky. But their problem is they don't have any ships out here. This is, I don't think this is worth a cube, to be honest. I don't think they can do this. I don't think they will make a lot of cash out of this trade. We have rebels in here. This is bad for trading in the Champagne. And we have a pirate here. That's not good. So I think I'm going to save the cubes. I think I simply save these cubes. Yep. Do I pass? I might actually want to pass. I don't see that the English can do anything, and therefore I might as well pass. Yeah, I will do this. So I could do a diplomacy action maybe somewhere. That might be an option. I don't think this is going to happen. No, I'm not going to do that. I just leave it here and I'm okay, and I'm going to pass. I hope the English don't do any shit, but I don't have a military cube anyway, so I couldn't do a lot there. And that gives me $3. And I'm going to need that because, yeah, I'm pretty deep in debt here. The Spanish, what do they want to do? Do they want to take another exploration action? No, my idea was not to do anything either. So, yeah, I'm going to leave it. Maybe I could use my administrative power. I can develop a province. I want to do that. I'm going to take my administrative power and develop a province. And which one is that going to be? I don't know. Maybe Burgos. So that gives me a little more money and manpower. That is not bad. There we go. England is done. They're gonna pass, and they might either, no, they don't even get something for that. Only if they would have had passed as first or second, they would have gained something. So they're done. They don't have any cubes left. I think, well, the Austrians are technically still at war. So let's see what they're gonna do. So the Austrian player. He actually spent more cubes than he has left, but he is at war and he has still 5 cubes left. He has bot cards, so that means he's actually gonna draw another bot card. And that says convert. So he spends another one. And we go to the convert action. I'm not sure if he can even do that. Maybe it's not possible for him to do this. Any areas with a religious dissent? Yeah, but I think there is none that he completely controls. So I think he actually can't do it. He can't do it, so he's going to use a focus action. That means he places the marker on economic, and I'm not sure how I can represent that when I switch bots. I'm not even sure if I'm not sure. I don't know how to handle that. Maybe I'm gonna make it a little cheaper for him to, I don't know. Maybe I'm just ignoring it. Okay, so yeah, that was the bot's action. It's weird because I'm not even sure if he's gonna do that, because let's see, he already has the economic milestone. So we'll see. Now he's gonna do it anyway. So yeah, the card would go away, but that doesn't matter because the H ends. And the Poles, they still have a couple of cubes left. They can do stuff. Well, I mean, they could definitely, they could play the missionaries, for example. Yeah, they could play the missionaries and they could get rid of trouble here. And why not? I think that makes sense. I could also place them in one of these, but I have my tolerance and I think I can avoid it here anyway. So I'm going to place the missionaries here. The problem is I don't have a marker for that left. So I think what I have to do is I'm going to have to place a Catholic marker here. Now the rules also say that these markers are not unlimited, but I think that makes no sense. So I'm kind of place the marker here in between. And that means the development card goes away. And yeah, that's it. The Turks already have passed. France has passed. The Spanish, they still have a cube, an event to take. Which one is that going to be? Well, probably this one, because we have some money here. In the end, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. That would give him a diplomatic cube, though. This one costs him a diplomatic cube. That's interesting. I think he's going to take that one instead. He wants diplomacy cubes, but he also wants military cubes. Nah, but he still has, I don't know, maybe not that much. I think he's going to go with this one instead. Yeah, he's going to take that. Fate of the Crimean Khanate, and he's going to, I think he's going to take that. You gain 1 diplomacy cube. That's good for the Spanish. The Ottomans lose all the cubes in Crimea, but gain 2 cubes in adjacent areas. Okay, I assume they can choose where they want that. Okay, let's see. I guess they're gonna simply place the cubes here in Circassia. Everything else doesn't seem too interesting. And then we can place a pirate anywhere on the board. The Spanish player can decide. So I think I'm going to place the pirate back into the English Channel here. The Austrians are still not done because they are still at war. They have a cube left, so they're going to, or 4 cubes left, so they're going to spend that. They have an unrest card. They got to spend. Oh no, that's not. Yeah, no, they got to spend 1 cube exactly. They're going to discard one of these. And now, I think they simply are allowed to remove 2 unrest. That's good for the player who will eventually play them. They're going to be happy about that. Yes, remove unrest from 2 provinces owned by the bot. Prefer the large provinces. I wonder if I can take occupied provinces. I don't think so, but I'm not sure. Right, he can't do this. So there's so many little details. And now he's going to do it alphabetically. So I think he's going to take this one. We said we skipped this one because it makes no sense. And then he's going to do this, I guess. So that, I think, helps quite a bit. Okay. And still the Poles. What are they going to do? Oh, darn. I forgot the Tatar raids. The Spanish did their action, so this is triggered. This is attrition. So that means, I assume that still the players that are at war suffer 1 loss for 4 units. So that means the Turks are at war. The French are at war. So that army is destroyed. But that's okay for them now. And anybody else at war? No, I don't think so. Oh, of course, yeah, the Austrians are at war. Austrians actually also suffer from that, so that's 4, 8, 12, 15, so they lose 3 units. That means they're going to do it like this. And that was this card. And yeah, it was the Poles. Are they going to do anything? I don't think so. There's just not a lot of options. They have 2 military. I don't think so. No, there's nothing going on there. They could, well, I mean, they could spend their military cubes and remove some unrest. Is that something they want to do? Maybe that's not a bad idea. Yeah, I think that makes sense. I think that makes a lot of sense, actually. So I'm gonna remove 1 unrest over here. Yeah, cool. And I think I can even remove 1 of these. And so let's start this all over again. Turks passed, French passed, Spaniards. I also think they're going to pass now. I mean, I might consider, now that I have quite a few of these, I might consider another exploration action. it feels a little questionable, you know, spending all my cubes. I really don't know if I want to do that. Could work out. I get 5 cubes next turn, but I really don't know, man. You know, you can use money for diplomacy cubes, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to do one more exploration action, and I need a 2. Fuck. Okay, I'll do a reroll. Oh, by the way, I have to remove this one, and the card then goes away. There it is. That was great. That was worth it. That will give me an additional colonists. So that was really cool. And I'm going to place that. Let's see, the Spanish Main. Do I need New Granada? Let's see. Yeah, I do. So I'm going to need New Granada. So I'm going to place it here. And that is really awesome. I mean, that looks pretty promising over there. We spent quite a few resources, but I think it was all right. And this time it worked out quite well, I guess. Okay, so the naval traditions go away. That's a great card for exploring. And that's it. English have passed. Austria still at war, and they're gonna draw another card. That says naval. So they're gonna spend another cube. They're gonna discard another card, and we'll see what that means. That's kind of interesting. The question is there a hostile sea zone adjacent to one of the bot's ships? And yeah, that is actually the case. They have a bot here in the Adriatic Sea, and you can see the central Mediterranean is adjacent, and so Corsica would be pissed here. And then it says you simply place a ship there, and then so there we go, we place a ship here, and now we're going to have a naval battle. No. So they're going to roll now artillery dice equal to the number of hostile ships. And that means it's only 1 die. Okay, that is the number of cannons rolled greater, what, than 2 plus the adjacent bot ports? Good lord. Well, no, there was no cannon rolled, but there's no bot port adjacent either. Anyway, so we're gonna go here. There was no cannon rolled. So that means, I guess, he simply gets a cube for that because he won that battle. That was a little odd. But it clearly says adjacent to a ship, not only adjacent to a port. Spend another military to get rid of unrest. The Turks have passed, France has passed, the Spanish, yeah, I think they're done too. This is now it. So the Spanish will pass, they get a buck, that triggers the end of the turn. They already have passed, they will also pass now, I'm pretty sure about that. If the end of turn is triggered, I think Austria passes. Let's go quickly to the bots. Yeah, so they pass. The Poles, yeah, there's nothing they can do. I mean, yeah, no, they also pass. That's it. That's the end of the round, and technically the end of the age. I mean, of course, we still have to go through all the other stuff, And but I'm gonna load this up now. It was a long video, and yeah, not too long, but quite. Yeah, and it's going to be interesting because now, after this whole end of age process and all, we're going to switch probably the bots. I randomly will determine now which country is controlled by bots. So that's I think that's kind of cool. Hope to see you in the next video. Bye.